We are live. Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome to Polaron's Facebook live stream. As always, we are joined by our director Eva Hussein and our guest for this week is Justyna, Polaron's Grant Citizenship Manager. Today we'll be talking about a brand new online coaching program designed to assist you with your Grant of Citizenship application. If you would like to learn more about our services or are simply interested in people's citizenship and life experiences, visit our YouTube channel for previous videos and join us weekly here on our Facebook page for more videos and information. Over to you, Eva.
Sarah, thank you so much for that lovely introduction. I don't know how excited you are, but I'm super excited for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because we're speaking to Justyna, and she is someone that I've grown very fond of over the last few months. We've worked together on a number of very important projects. Let me tell you, she's someone that's very structured, very well organized, and really lovely to work with. Good morning, no, afternoon, Justyna.
Oh, good afternoon already. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I really liked working for Polaron, and especially with you, Eva. We work really closely, especially on this project. So it's your baby as well.
It is, and it isn't a mutual admiration society, but I'm genuinely loving working with Justyna. So our team in Poland has grown. We've got Agata and another Justyna. So we have 3 Paulinas, 2 Justynas, 2 Agatas, like we're multiplying, right? But today we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about a very exciting platform that you've been working very hard on behind the scenes. And the other reason that I'm excited is that I just had a session with a client, and I have to say that I was both impressed and nervous about using it. So it's amazing that you're going to be able to show us some of the features of it. But essentially, if you don't mind, I'll just give people a little bit of background as to what happened last year. So 2020 was a year from hell. There's no denying. But it meant massive growth for Polaron of the grant product, which is something that we've been building on behind the scenes and working on with many clients. And it got to the point really essentially where sort of mid last year, we realized that we need a platform to be able to support that activity. And maybe if you could explain to us, to people that are listening, what you did with other people from within the organization to find the right platform and why, and what did we end up with? Okay, that's, yeah.
Sure. So together with Dominic, we looked for the perfect platform to accommodate our needs. So it needed to be user-friendly, of course, for our clients, but it also had to be, GDPR sensitive, because we are handling a lot of clients' data. And there were other aspects, such as putting it all in a certain way that we wanted, like with videos and audio and all of nice things that we want to show to our clients. So we had those certain features that we looked at, and we had meetings with a couple of the companies that, that offer that kind of platforms. And after looking for them for about 3 weeks, I guess, or a month, we decided to pick the one from SAP that is called Litmos. And we went with this one, and so far it's working great. We were building on it. So Litmos is a e-learning platform. And what we did, we built on it so we can also upload the documents for our clients, so they can see the samples and templates and examples of the documents that they need to provide us. But what they also can do is to bridge the gaps in knowledge about the Poland. They can also join the live sessions with us. So just like this one, it could be also conducted on the platform just for our clients, and that would be exclusive for them. So it's partly helping us with administration, but it also helps us with, let's say, coaching the clients and giving them the results that they are looking for.
Right, so it's an e-learning platform, but also a content management platform, which is not often the case with e-learning. And I think the other thing, as you said, we looked at is security, because, you know, platforms like Google Docs aren't necessarily compliant with GDPR, and, you know, we handle a lot of sensitive information. But before we get started, and you can show us what it looks like, please tell us how the work of creating that platform has been for you, because for months now, we've been working behind the scenes on creating the content and also making it both user-friendly and interesting, because, you know, like a lot of this content can be found online, but this is specifically geared towards people that are applying to the president of Poland to become Polish citizens. So what sort of, what would you say 3 things that our clients have to have in order to be successful?
So for our clients to be successful, for sure they need to have the knowledge about Poland. So they need to feel Polish. So we try to, as I said earlier, to bridge the gaps in knowledge that they may have. Mm-hmm. We know that a lot of them grew up already in a foreign country, and that it was their grandparents or even great-great-grandparents that moved out of Poland. So their knowledge about Poland is different. And when they go to the consulate, they actually have, they can be asked certain questions about it. So that is one thing. But they also need to know Polish, at least at the conversational level. And I know it's a struggle for a lot of clients, so we try to make it easy with our Polish teachers. And the other thing is the portfolio that we create with the clients. So that is this big folder that is 200 pages or even larger, and it contains all of the documents, because actually the client may speak to the consul, but they wouldn't speak to anybody from the Polish government itself. So the folder have to speak for themselves. So that is the thing that we try to make perfect, and that we look at every detail that we can. So it is just convincing, right?
Right. So it's a compelling argument, and I can confirm that massive amount of work goes into it. So we would showcase, you know, someone's connection to Poland, they speaking the language, which is often, as you said, the main barrier for people, because between English and Polish, there's such a big gap in terms of linguistics that, you know, we work with people on building their confidence, but we, you know, there's so many elements and so many streams. So there's the research, the professional background, the educational background, membership in organizations, writing of the motivational narrative. In other words, we came to an agreement a few months ago that we need to organize ourselves. Not that we're not organized, but we thought, let's get a platform going that each client has an individual logging into, and everything's organized, structured, and very easy to use. So show us, Justyna, what did we come up with?
Sure. So now I will just share my screen and show you a couple of screenshots, and then if we have a little bit more time, I will just show as well maybe one of the presentation, or we can just go on the website and look at it, how it actually looks like live. So this is the home page. So as you can see, there are a couple of things here. It's not really complicated. So one of the things that you can see is things to do. And these are the courses that you have to complete, that the client have to complete. And those are mainly those things about bridging gaps in knowledge, so knowledge about Poland and so on. The other thing that you can see below is the calendar. So all of the Polish lessons, meetings with a case coordinator will be there, as well as some additional sessions, just like the one we have this weekend with Amber. And that is other things. So on the right, we can see news. So That will be some internal news, like those live sessions, trainings, internal things, but also interesting articles that we find, some events from Polish organizations that our clients can take part in. So all of this will be helping them to immerse in Polish culture as well. So next thing that I wanted to show is how actually it looks like. So this is start of one of the lessons. The first one is actually about the documents, so boring stuff. But I just wanted to show you that it's available on a couple of devices. So you can either do it in home, or if you're busy and don't really have time, people can just look at it during they commute to work. And it's really easy to access. There is also an app for both Android and Apple. And so it's really easily accessible and really easy to use. And the other thing is that the client will have assigned a course that is the main path that they have to go through with us. But there will be also other courses that are not, that they can do additionally. If something is of interest for them, they can just find it on the platform. And for example, try to learn Polish a little bit on the, as I said, on the commute to work, for example. So Polish in a Minute, for example, are those short, really short movies with pronunciation of Polish words. So it's really easy to listen to them anytime you want. And with the time, there will be more and more courses showing up on the website on subjects such as education in Poland, or martial law, or contemporary music. So anything that will be of interest for our clients, actually. And now I'm going to show you a little bit of how will it actually look like. So this is the first lesson, the first course. And it is about the documents that clients will have to provide us. And we have a lot of media there, so it's interactive and it's easy to go with and follow. So we both have some samples that you see on the left corner. So there are samples of the documents, how they should look like. There are examples of the documents that we may need that will be helpful for research. There are some examples, audio examples of how meeting with consul can look like and what question can be asked. And there are also some videos that will explain, in this case, it's letter of authority, which is one of the documents that we provide to our clients to be signed and sent to Poland. So we will have both text and video and audio and photos, samples, and everything that people may need to go through this process. So those are resources, so samples that I was talking about. So in this case, this is letter of recommendation and cover letter that will have to be created by clients or their friends, family, anybody that supports their case. So we will have the samples to show them how it may look like. And the other thing is that this program is, well, this one lesson is a part of a bigger program. So as you can see on the right side, the lessons will be released with time. The whole program is planned for 8 months. So after 8 months, we should have all of the documents. We should have all of the gaps in knowledge bridged. We should have learned the Polish language at the basic level. So we should have all of the documents registered in Poland and so on and so on. So this is planned for 8 months, and you can see that you will be able to go through all of the aspects with us during those 8 months. So you can see that there is in both history and political system in Poland, economy, culture, cuisine, a lot of things. And there is also this aspect of uploading the documents as well. As we said earlier, a lot of those documents have sensitive data. And so names, surnames, dates of births, place of births, and a lot of other things. So we made sure that the platform is safe. And all of the documents can be uploaded here as well within those big, small chunks. So you can wrap, well, client can wrap their head around it really easily because they go step by step with the program. So in my opinion, it will be really easy to follow. And there will be more and more materials that will be releasing over the time. Okay. I will stop sharing my screen now. Eva, do we have any questions about the platform?
Yeah, we do. And I might just start as well by just acknowledging how much work has gone into it. So I think, you know, when people decide to proceed with our services, it's a leap of faith. So we take them on a journey and it's a very organized journey because at the end of the day, as you said, you need to end up, we need to end up with a folder that then gets submitted to the Polish government. But the value in working with us also comes from, you know, enriching our identities, I guess, or connecting to Poland. But I think a lot of people that work with us are professionals and they like being really organized. So I think this will kind of revolutionize things a little. And I think a lot of the work that we've put in and that we're extremely proud of is developing that content, but also the structure and of how to use it and how to organize yourself and how to keep in touch, because that's still about individual journey for people. So some of it, of course, will be tailor-made, but I think it gives us this framework, this structure into which people can fit into, you know, whatever documentation they have. And you know, as I said earlier, there's quite a few streams of activity behind the scenes. So there's translations, there's you know, like registration of documents, whatever it is. But this will give people an opportunity to have a high level and detailed level overview of what's happening, right?
That's right. So everybody needs to know that everything that I just said is already happening, but outside of the platform. So it happens in those pieces on Zoom, on, well, it happens in different places, and we are just trying to put it all together. So it's in one place and easily accessible. Yeah. So we are not doing anything new. It's the way of doing it that is new.
Yeah, and that is something that I think will resonate with a lot of people, because at the end of the day, we're not a technology company, but technology is something we do have to embrace because most of our clients are, you know, virtually on the other side of the world. So I think I want to say this, that last year has been a year from hell, but it hasn't, because it's helped us develop and connect in a different way, which maybe isn't the same as, you know, face-to-face contact, but certainly technology assists with making things smoother, more organized, and this is what the platform is all about. So I might hand over to Hasara to give us some questions. I can see there's quite a lot of questions.
Hi, yes, so we have some questions here. Our first question is, will this online coaching program fast track my application, or will it simply make the process much easier and more convenient?
Sure.
That's a good question. Go for it, Justyna.
Yeah. So we don't really know what is happening after we launch the application. And after we launch the application, it can take from 6 to 18 months to process it by the Polish government, and it's confidential. So we don't really know what is happening there. But certainly if we provide all of the documents that they need, if we provide all of the translations that they need, and you wouldn't have to provide any more documents, and Polish governments wouldn't have to ask for them or check it in archives by themselves. It definitely will make the process in Poland a little bit easier and faster.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what we do is support clients through providing them with information and guidance. And what we've done is we've uploaded samples, frequently asked questions, videos about how to do things. So it is self-paced, but you know, a lot of the elements are the same for everybody. So for example, registration of birth certificate, everybody has to, you know, needs to do it. So instead of manually answering questions, we've kind of predicted what people might ask, and we've put all that information on the platform so that you can log in, see it for yourself. And of course, if you still need to workshop it or get extra guidance, we're there. But I think we've developed the platform in sort of like a conversational, easy way for people to you know, digest the information, because it is really, really complex. So behind the scenes, there's, you know, like 20 people working on the application, but we want to make it so streamlined that you don't even know. So it's super easy. Everything's well organized, clearly labeled, clearly journeyed. So in other words, you can, you'll know where you're at in terms of your journey towards your application. So in that way, I hope we're answering your question, Hasara, or whoever's asked clearly, but you know, being organized is always a good thing, is what I would say.
Yeah, that was a great answer. We have some more questions here, if we have time. So one more question was, who exactly is eligible for this program? So who will have access to it?
Justyna, do you mind if I take this? So anybody that's a client, and as I said last year in particular, this service has exploded because of what's happened in the world, and people just want to have a plan B and a second passport and whatever. But we work with people that have Polish heritage, not just Polish, others too, but primarily Polish, that qualify for citizenship through descent. So if they, you know, generally speaking, if somebody has a Polish heritage, the first thing we try and establish is whether they qualify through descent, because that's an easier avenue. So you don't have to speak the language. There's no other requirements other than having Polish blood, basically. But this program is available for people that do not qualify through descent. And in fact, you don't even have to be Polish to apply. You know, if you have affinity with Poland and the Polish language, if you love it as a country, as a concept, you can also apply. Anybody can. So we might have, you know, famous sports people that apply, or spouses of Polish citizens, whatever. But specifically, we specialize in working with people who do not qualify through descent, but still want to be Polish. So we work with people that are passionate about Poland, that grew up Polish, or some have lost that connection with Poland. So we try and rebuild it. So what I'd say to people, to whoever I work with and whoever we take on as clients, is, you know, you have my blessing. You can feel Polish, but how to make that happen in your heart is the big question. So you know, putting the paperwork aside, it's about how you feel as well. And these applications from people that are genuinely, sincerely trying are successful. So I think in terms of answering your question there, Hasara, it's anybody, but specifically people that have Polish heritage and do not qualify for citizenship through descent.
Yeah, so we have some more questions here related to the platform again. So another question we have is, will this platform be developed for other citizenship programs? Is that something Polaron is considering at the moment?
Yeah, I think definitely. And I think we are getting a lot of traction with Slovak and Czech and German citizenship. You know, these are also big avenues for us to explore. And I think we wanted to get this one right first. and then we can roll it out across other citizenship and other parts of the organization.
Yeah, so we have one more question, which we have time for. If I'm a client, will I get updates on the progress of my application through this platform? Is that something that this can facilitate?
I'll let Justyna speak, but it's not been built in. So the progress of your application with us, definitely. So in fact, we have checklists, we have quizzes, we have tests, we have progress bars. So as you're gathering documentation,
regular meetings with the manager. So every 2 or 3 weeks. So the updates will be provided regularly. Sorry, Eva.
No, go for it.
Yes, so all of the Ida said, as well as those regular meetings. And when we launched the application, actually, as I already said, the process is confidential on the Polish government side. So sometimes we do know when, for example, the application goes onto the president's into the president's office, but it really depends on the on our connections to the actual consulate that we launched the application to.
Right. So our part of the journey, it's very predictable. It's very focused on the client need, preferences, bridging those gaps that in knowledge that Justyna's mentioned. But once it's with the Polish government, we don't really get a look into what happens. So you can't monitor that. And it's a process that's, I don't want to call it opaque necessarily, but it is handled by the Polish government, and we don't know the progress of it normally, unless the consul who's interviewed you keeps in touch with you and advises you of that, yeah? But certainly in terms of, ticking off boxes and knowing what the progress has been and how we're building your application, that is a perfect vehicle for sure.
Yes, so we have one more question here. If you qualify through descent but cannot find the Polish documentation to prove this, is this an alternate way to get citizenship?
Yeah, I've seen that question come up on Facebook, and I did answer yes, but the answer might also be no. So this is a pretty tricky question, because you cannot apply for grant of citizenship if you qualify through descent. But if documentation cannot be found because you've not been able to find it, or it's been destroyed, or whatever it is, potentially you could file an application for grant of citizenship, giving them proof of what you've tried and how you're not able to provide the documentation. But it does put you into a little bit of a gray area, I have to say, because like one of the requirements is that you cannot qualify through descent. So the Polish government will kind of have to exclude that possibility. So we would, if you were to come to us, what we would be recommending is file an application for confirmation, and then get advice from the Polish government whether you qualify or you don't, whether you hold Polish citizenship or you don't, and based on that, you can then apply for grant of citizenship. All right, so I think we're done with questions. Justyna, can I thank you once more for working so hard behind the scenes on all of this, and also for presenting the platform today. I think we're going to be rolling it out for existing clients, but if anyone's interested in getting a demo or seeing things, there's a lot of content and really useful content. People are free to get in contact and speak to us. I'll hand over to you just for the last few words. You have a minute, go.
Thank you, Eva. Yes, it was a hard work, and it will be hard work for the next, we don't know how long, because we are still developing the content for our clients. So I'm really excited that I embarked on this journey, and I actually developed it with you and with other members of the team, because I think it will help us as a team, as well as to organize everything, as well as clients to, we make it organized for them, but to understand and to feel more Polish and to make the journey for them better as well.
Right. And that's what we are passionate about. And I think having a tool that facilitates that, so that things do not have to be done manually so much, and everything's stored in one place and it's easily accessible, is what we aim to do. And I think we've achieved it. So as you said, lots of work done, much more work to be done, but we're going to be rolling it out this coming week. So thank you for taking part, and thank you, Hasara, for facilitating the session, and Andrea for setting it all up.